What's going on, everybody? This is the War Chariot, and we are back with episode 58 of our Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin walkthrough. This is going to be a post-commentary. Originally, all my videos are actual commentary, live commentary. But in this episode, when I went to upload it to YouTube and watch it to make sure everything was cool, I noticed the voice audio was completely gone. So I'm going to be doing a post commentary. The game audio is still working, so that is good. And in this video, it's basically Shulva Sanctum City Part 2, and then Dragon's Rest, which is the giant pyramid Aztec looking building off to my, well, it's actually kind of in front of me right there. That item there, I believe it's nothing more than like a couple dried root or something like that, so we're not going to get that. The item that was the most important there was the lightning clutch, I believe. We got that in the last episode when we were moving those pillars around. These guys here, we really don't have to fight them, but they will follow you all the way down that skinny bridge over to the right there. And when you get down there, usually the enemies on the bridge entering the pyramid, as you can see over to the left there, usually they kind of bottleneck you, but something kind of cool happens here. Something Dark Souls usually likes to add in with any of the games. They like to add in these kind of surprises. As you can see, Sin the Slumbering Dragon making his second appearance, fucking up those dudes on the bridge, showing them a good time. In here, this will eventually be a shortcut up to the third bonfire in this area. We'll unlock that a little bit later. We're going to be fighting Ilana and Sin, probably all in one video. So that's going to be fun. Hopefully I can get it all in one video. I mean, Ilana is kind of a bitch sometimes and does not want to be beaten so easily. Hopefully it doesn't take more than 5 tries. Sin, he's usually 1 to 3 tries for me. Depending on his RNG, if he's flying a lot, sometimes it can be more annoying to take him down. This door here, you need a key to open it. We will get that key a little bit further down in this level. And we'll come back, and then that door actually will give us overall access to the third optional boss of the area, which is the Trio. Nicknamed the Trio. It's not actually called the Trio. It's like it's kind of like the Ruined Sentinels, how they each have like their own name. One of them's like Ancient Soldier Varg. I can't remember the other two. But you see these guys ahead here. They're kind of like ethereal. They kind of have like a ghost appearance. You can't really do damage to them in this form, so what you got to do is bring out a bow and shoot their tombs, which you can see right in front of the guy in front of me there, that like red glowing thing. That is actually his tomb. So once you shatter that with either bow and arrow or a weapon, the guys become unetherealed, and you can actually do damage to them like a normal enemy. So you can see right there, he turns normal. And I'm just going to snipe the other one from over here, just so when we get over there we don't have to worry about hitting it, we can just kill him. Take those arrows off, take the bow off. Fucking wrecked. Couple chests were in this room. The biggest thing about these chests was the Katarina set and the soul vessel we get. I mean, the great arrows are kind of a nice touch, but let's be honest, if you want to buy some great arrows, you're going to buy 999 of them from, I believe, is it Chancellor that carries a good amount of them? It's Chancellor, and I think someone else carries a good amount of them. Some growth bomb. Not really that important. And a titanite slab. Titanite slabs are always useful. Always useful to have some titanite slabs on you. Because most common weapons use a slab to ascend to +10. Little trap there. I was hoping I could get that guy with the trap, but a little too slow there. Fucking squad shows up here. Almost fucking wrecks me. Luckily, I just got out of there in time. You can't underestimate these sanctum knights. They will fuck you up if you're not careful. Dude, try to fucking chug Estus here. Like, no, what the fuck you doing, bro? That's not allowed in PvP, and it's not allowed in PvE. But I did get some gauntlets, which is a pretty good drop. The best drops from those guys are pretty much their armor, just because all their other drops are like, I don't know if they drop like poison moss or titanite or anything like that, but definitely like to get the armor sets. That way you don't have to farm them later. I mean, if you can accidentally pick up an armor set on the way through the game, it's a lot nicer because later if you want to use that armor set, you don't have to go farm for it. Watch out for that poison there. And I believe, yep, there was a button right there. And then that button you could shoot with an arrow and it would open a hidden door. And behind it was, I believe, a ton of twinkly and dragon bones, if I remember correctly. Which is awesome because twinkly and dragon bones are in short supply, and when you run out of them, it takes forever to farm enough to upgrade 1 or 2 weapons. Because I believe it's like 15 to upgrade a weapon +5. Because twinkly and dragon bones, they don't go +10, they go +5. But I believe it's near 15 to upgrade 1 weapon. Yeah, you can see 5 twinkly, 3 dragon bone. Definitely worth it. Honestly, I would have set the last fire and just come back and keep getting that chest if it would work like that. I think the chest would reset. Pretty sure it would. Yeah, I'm almost positive because I know one of the ways to get dual Avalons first playthrough is to just ascetic the fire and undead ditch. Go back and get the chest. Healing up a bit because that fucking poison will kill me. Although the poison is not nearly as strong as it was in Dark Souls 1. In Dark Souls 1, when you got poison, it did the same amount of damage, pretty much like how fast it ticks your health down. But if you got poisoned, like you were poisoned for like 2 minutes straight, no matter like what your adaptability. Like you were just poisoned for a good 2 minutes. And you'd be walking around with the poison effect on, and you'd see it, and you'd notice it, and you'd be like, okay, I have to watch that. Because it went on so long sometimes, like you would be walking around and you'd forget that you were poisoned. So you'd go fight an enemy, they'd hit you, and what normally wouldn't be a fatal hit, but with the poison effect, you'd get hit, have a little bit of health, and then the poison would slowly finish you off while you were paying attention to the fight. Shoot that button and then shoot this one. Those both open doors a little later on. Hear my dog in the background there. The trap here. This trap, you can use it to kill this guy, but I don't think I did here. I was a little too slow. You want to aggro him immediately, and then you want to step right on the trap. If you do it too slow there, you can see he'll miss. But you do want to be careful about using it, because if you are in the way of the trap, it will one-shot you. It doesn't even take any damage or anything like that. It'll just straight up one-shot you. So down here in these chests, a few important items. Some twinkly and some dragon bone. Couple stones. And in here is basically the weapon we came for, or the big item in this area, the puzzling stone sword. It's a unique weapon. It's the only one like it. As any of you know who've played the game, it's a sword that basically has a whip comboed moveset. You can swing it like a sword, or you can swing it like a whip. Decent damage if properly upgraded and scaled with. I've never actually used it for a PvP build, but I've considered it. I know I've fought a lot of NPCs and actual players with it and got my fucking shit pushed in, so definitely a cool weapon. Now this area I usually skip and come back to later, but I figured we could knock it out while we were here just so that we didn't have to do that. I believe I almost die here. Yeah, like right here. I was literally one of them guys from hitting me away. One more hit, I would have been screwed. Rolled right between two there. They could have easily tagged me. Go for that double chug. Third dragon ring at risk. That's probably one of the most annoying things about this area in particular, is they all do corrosive. So when they hit you, they degrade your armor greatly. And the third dragon ring is known for having like no durability. It's always the first ring to break if you got it on with other rings. I don't think any ring is weaker than it. I feel like it should have like some crazy durability because it's a dragon ring. Maybe it should be made out of like dragon scales or something. And make it like super powerful, super durable. There's not really any items in this area that are really worth getting, so if you don't feel like coming down here, it's not really worth it. As you can see, some balm, some gems, some dung pie, which everybody loves dung pie, right? I believe dung pie's only proper use is for trolling in PvP. I believe that's like its only legit use. Any other use is like you could just be using something else that's better. But if you come up here, you'll find that you get Flynn's ring. I was trying to remember which ring it was. It was either Yorg's or Flynn's, but Yorg's you don't get until Sin's fight. So now that you've cleared out this top area, you are set to pretty much drop down below. That little area I just walked in there was a shortcut that will open up probably in a couple minutes or so once I clear this area out. Again, there's a bunch of ethereals in here. Same thing with clearing the ethereals. You want to kill their bodies first. Their bodies are all located in a room that's close to where we're at now. The tiara those enemies wear right there, those, I don't know, like hex, poison, curse mages, they have a tiara that they can drop as part of their armor they're wearing, and it's a pretty rare drop, but I like farming it just to have it. I actually usually end up getting it on accident, which I don't really consider an accident. I consider it awesome luck. Trying to move my mic a little closer there if you heard any odd sounds. The neat thing about this room is when you walk in, you see all the guys and you're like, shit, this is gonna be hard. But you'll notice that I entered the room with 3 of them. 3 or 4 of them, I believe, because I think one was actually chasing me. So I think I entered the room with 4 of them. And And you'll notice when I turn around, there's only one left. So what you can do pretty much is just loop around the room, and most of them, because they do those jumping attacks, will actually jump off into the holes and kill themselves. So that definitely helps take down the difficulty. Every once in a while you get that bad RNG where they'll all still be following you, and you kind of have to take them out one by one with your weapon. But right there I got pretty lucky, so that was kind of cool. Got that Eternal Sanctum key in the Sanctum Night Helm. The key is going to be used to open that door that we saw back at the beginning of this video. I think that's the only door it opens. I'm trying to think if there's any other doors. I'm thinking most of the other doors are either opened by buttons or they're not actual doors. Pretty sure it's just that door in the beginning. Got the Blood Bite ring. Gathering plenty of rings here. I love collecting all the rings. All the bite rings are only +1. So once you get all the bite rings +1, you've got their highest upgrade. Yeah, here I'm looking for the, there's another button. There's that button there. I think there's one here, and I actually die here, which kind of sucks, because fucking, that dude scared the shit out of me. Yeah, I couldn't believe I actually died there. Like, he didn't hit me off, I just rolled off, because I was, like, shocked that he actually was there. I couldn't tell where he came from. Because, like, I was standing, wandering around there a few seconds ago fine, and then this dude just comes out of nowhere. And you spawn all the way back in Shulva, which really sucks. Because then you gotta spend all this time walking back to where we were. Sin sadly does not show up to torch these guys. That'd be kind of cool. Kind of cool if he showed up every time, but again, I don't think that would make much sense. It's kind of like it's kind of a one-time deal. Now we can actually open this door. This is the one I was talking about. Some more of these hex priestesses, I guess you would call them, or they're probably called something like a sanctum priestess. I'm not sure of their actual name. And I just come in here to get these chests. To see that ladder right in front of us. We come back and we'll go up that later, because that takes us towards the third boss. And because we haven't even beat Ilana or Sin yet, we're not going to go that way. I just wanted to loot these chests real quick, because who doesn't love getting some good loot? Most of them are dried root, which kind of sucks. Like, you see 5 chests, and you're like, yay, loot, something good, right? Probably like a ring, some armor, but no, just a fuck ton of dried root. I believe one of these chests has something good in it, though, if I remember correctly. Yep, lightning clutch ring. And I think this one's also dried root. Yep, or no, 2 bonfire ascetics. So now we can go back to the spot where we died. All the knights, luckily, are not ethereal anymore, so we can kind of just run right at them and take them out without having to run around. Here we can just sprint right through here, because we already cleared the area, got all the items. We don't have to bother fighting the enemies again. Typical speedrun strats. And with our great sword build, we hit like a fucking tank. So just basically run up and smash these guys' faces in. Almost die there to fucking annoying dark orbs or whatever those are. I think this is the fucker that killed me last time. So we greet him with a proper backstab. We'll get that chest in there in a second. I think I'm just coming up here to open the shortcut and kill this fucker, obviously. In this chest is the dragon stone. You use this to unlock, well, not unlock, but like piece together a bridge. That's right after we beat. No, it's not after we beat. Like, we go outside again. Like, we're in the pyramid chamber now. Then we go outside, and right before we can re-enter the pyramid, there's a bridge that we need to like piece together, and the dragon stone is unlocks the mechanism that allows you to do that. And then after that, you can walk inside, and basically you can fall right down to the boss. And if you know the DLC, the bosses are pretty much back to back, so that makes it quite easy if you want to take them out both really quickly. You gotta kind of do some strats here. You gotta alternate between arrows and fire bombs. You're basically just trying to spin the wheel to the point where you can walk through it. I got pretty lucky with those throws there. Usually it takes me a few fire bombs to get that to work. If you can't get the fire bombs, you can actually walk up on the platform that's raised right. It's kind of like right behind me where that sanctum sorceress was. And you can actually see the button from up there if you position yourself correctly, and you can hit it with an arrow from up there. So that's how I used to do it, but then I found out you could just lob fire bombs, and it seemed easier to me, so that's the way I went with. Kill this fucker so he doesn't shoot me in the back while I'm trying to hit that button, because I'm not fucking dying to you again. Down there is towards the boss, basically kind of like a free fall. We're going to hit a few points on the way down just to ensure that we get all the loot. And there's actually an armor set. It's the Drake Blood armor set, and we're going to grab that. It's actually a pretty good armor set. It's really nice. It's not all beat up like a lot of the armor sets in this game. It's kind of like the Aurora set. It has a real shiny, antique, pristine look to it. It's basically kind of like your classic knight armor almost, but with a spin. There's also the Drake Blood Greatsword we'll be getting a little bit later on. That's the Greatsword that matched the armor set. It doesn't look like a Greatsword when you're wielding it, obviously because you're using the Greatswords like the Sweehander. The Greatsword that I'm using, you know, having really elongated blades, heavy hitting, but it is considered a Greatsword. And it does actually swing like a greatsword. It kind of has those big lobbing side-to-side sweeps. Fucking aggro this guy here. I hate the guys with the poison aurora because they fucking, like, if you're not quick in killing them, they'll just poison you because you're standing next to them, and that's kind of gay. So across here is the bonfire. We opened the door to that by hitting that one button that was down the stairs there. And then this packet, I believe, is a sanctum crossbow. Now, I don't think that's the one that shoots hexes, because I know there's two. There's one that shoots arrows, and then there's one that shoots hexes. That one that shoots arrows is not good, obviously, because it's not better than the Avalon, and the Avalon is the best crossbow in the game. But the hex crossbow is pretty nice because you can actually shoot like kind of like a dark orb almost out of it, which that guy was using. It was in his little right hand now that we're behind him, but left hand when we were in front of him. I also got hit by one earlier, I believe. It does pretty good damage. Obviously, the better the scaling and the higher level you are, the more damage it'll do. So this is where we meet our old pal Jester T. JT was friendly when we last met him. But in this fight, he's not so friendly. Although I don't know if he was bugged or what, but I'm used to him just like throwing Forbidden Sun after Forbidden Sun after Forbidden Sun after Firestorm after Firestorm after Forbidden Sun. But here he kind of just like rolled around and didn't really do much, and I just was able to like beat on him. I don't know if they changed him for Scholar or what, but like I've never actually like fought him and he's been that like passive. That was kind of weird. I mean, it was a lot easier because usually I die once to him because he's that good of an NPC. And he usually throws up a warmth and throws out mock gestures, and it gets real annoying because like you'll hit him a few times and then he'll just go heal. You'll hit him a few times, he'll heal, then he hits you in the face with the Forbidden Sun, and that usually takes you out. Now, I'm not sure what these things are called, but these things are probably one of the hardest enemies in the game by themselves. They hit, like, if you can, like, circle around them, they're pretty easy, but, like, when they do their jump attacks and their charge attacks, and I believe they have, like, a chomp attack where they can actually, like, pick you up and start chewing on you, kind of like the ogres can. They do, like, all your health, and that's not good. But there is a bonfire off to the right there. Although getting to it sometimes can be a challenge. I've had times where I've been running towards it. Like, as you can see, that attack did half my health. But I've had times where I've been running towards this bonfire in my earlier playthroughs. And I've been like, yay, bonfire! And I go to, like, put out my hand to light it, and one of their fucking jet electric water ball things hits me in the back, and I die. Literally right before I'm about to light it. So I kind of hate these things. But I run around here and I grab a few of the packets because I believe some of them are like Twinkly, Dragon Bone. I think there's a packet off to my left there that actually missed. And you can see there I fucking died. But that's why we light the bonfire. I believe I got all the packets in the area except one. I was kind of in a hurry there because those fuckers were all chasing me. Not really that big of a deal though. So, the Dragon Stone we're actually going to be using in a second here, the one that we picked up a little earlier. You'd think the Dragon Stone was like some cool looking carving or something, but it ends up looking kind of like just like a wedge of rock. I mean, maybe it looks like a dragon tooth, but it doesn't really look like any tooth that I've ever seen. As you can see, it's kind of like that teardrop shape there. I don't really know. And that sinks down, and you can see right behind me there the bridge pieces it's missing, and then they raise up from the water and basically allow us to enter Dragon's Rest. There's a giant green crystal there. That green crystal, it's very out of place, and there's not any like it in the game besides that one. So I know before like the next DLCs and all that came out, like when this one just came out and the second and third ones weren't out yet and Scholar wasn't out, a lot of people were like thinking and theorizing that that stone or that crystal there would have something to do with future installments, but it turns out it never really did. So I guess that was that. We just picked up the Drakeblood Greatsword. Decent weapon. It's more of a strength weapon, I believe. What we're doing here is just unlocking some elevator shortcuts. This elevator shortcut will actually take us back to the first bonfire. If you remember the first bonfire, when we went straight to the path of progression, or there was that little area off to the left, well, that was the area that is basically the top end of that elevator shortcut there. So that's kind of nice. If we die, we can just go back to that bonfire, and we are right where we need to be. So you can see the boss down there. That's actually Alana's fog gate. You can pretty much just drop straight down, which is what I usually do, like once I start dying to her over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. But we're gonna go off to the sides and get some loot. This here is the first of the Drake Blood Knights that we'll be fighting. He is actually sporting the entire set, including the sword. You can see how the sword doesn't really look like a great sword, but it certainly moves like one. And here is the running of the crystal lizards. You got to be quick here. I believe there's 5 of them, or no, 4 of them. And I usually never even hit one of them, but I believe it's because I usually don't have this kind of a weapon. But this weapon is especially good for hitting them because it has the sweeping moveset that moves down towards the ground, which makes it ideal for taking them out. And we do pick up a good amount of twinkly there, so that's definitely a bonus later on when I'm upgrading weapons that need twinkly. That'll be very helpful. And I believe in this room over here, it's just all empty chests. It was believed to be that the Drake Blood armor was actually in those chests, I believe. That's what people were saying. But I'm not exactly sure how true that was. And in this room, pretty much a troll room, nothing in it at all. Now when we jump down here, you'll see ledges off to the left and right. I believe the one over here isn't really going anywhere, so we just come over here, and then there's more Drake Blood Knights and some more loot. Not here, but down the stairs a bit. And there's also a hidden bonfire coming up. As you can see, I'm running along the wall here trying to button mash to find the illusory wall. The illusory wall, I believe, is down one more level, and that allows us to have access to a bonfire that's not far from the boss. It was actually a long time before I actually found out that bonfire was there. Like, I used to have to run from the one in the water area, which was not good. I never liked running that far to fight a boss. So now that we reached the bonfire down here, we're going to end it here. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, thumbs up, subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one.